Begin all things by first using the all. I am Onife Asase Yaa. My debtor name is Bernice Wilson. I am an Indigenous Autochthon female of Akan Fanti descent. White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. This is my statutory declaration for public notice that was delivered to the Governor of New Jersey on January 26, 2022 of the Gregorian calendar. I, Bernice Wilson, now known as Onife Asase Yaa, do solemnly declare in accord with the 1931 Statute of Westminster, 1778 Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union-Art 11, 1812 Treaty of Ghent, 1794 Jay Treaty, 1836 Treaty of Marrakesh, Morocco, all recognized and valid treaties, Constitution for the United States of America, the 1948 Charter of the United Nations, Pope's Apology to Indigenous Peoples, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the UN International Decade for People of African Descent, that upon discovering that the registration of live birth of October 3, 1978 in Accra, Ghana was a contract between my mother and Accra, Ghana, who did not tell her she was selling me a flesh and blood child to Accra, Ghana as their chattel property/slave, which is a violation of human rights. I hereby void the contract ab initio for fraud. I am an Autochthon flesh and blood female of Akan Fanti descent in accord with the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and HJR-194. United States Senate Apology to African Americans for Slavery. U.S. Apology to the Native Americans. C8113 H.R.3326 Department of Defense Appropriations Act. And Regina versus Ja. On May 14, 2011, at Southwark Crown Court, defendant John Anthony Hall in the United Kingdom proved before an English jury that Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor Saxe Coburg was not the rightful monarch and never was. Queen Elizabeth is not the rightful monarch and never was. This was a two-part argument. First, that Elizabeth knew both then and now that she was crowned on a fake coronation stone instead of the real stone of destiny coronation stone, which meant not only was she never properly crowned, but secondly, she was also knowingly and fraudulently conning the public, and that is why she didn't want her coronation televised. I declare that the name Bernice Wilson on the registration of live birth is a corporation, and Onife Asase Yaa is an Autochthon flesh and blood female of Akan Fanti descent. I am not a corporation, artificial person, natural person, fictitious entity, or vessel of the United States defined under Title 18.S.C.9, and I give notice internationally, domestically, universally, via this declaration, that I deny corporate existence, under reservation of all my rights, unalienable and otherwise. I am an Autochthon indigenous of this planet, and I make this solemn declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and that it is the same force and effect as if made under oath. This is proof of confirmation of delivery for January 26, 2022 on the Gregorian calendar. In order to join the White Time webinar, claim your Indigenous standing and white status, contact Chief Nanya Shabuel, copyright trademark, to become a secure party creditor. Learn how to do the SF-181 correctly from the one who found it first. Send an email to aspwebinar@protonmail.com. White Time webinars are Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. White power, white power, white power. Abugador, abugador, abugador. I am white. Let freedom be your motivation.